Talking about veganism with someone you care about can sometimes be daunting. Your main goal is to help the other person understand why you've chosen to be vegan. But if you had similar experiences most vegans have, you usually find that they do not want to hear what you have to say. I call this the fear of truth, because you cannot unknow what you know. Now, in this video I have 4 big ideas to help you when you're having these discussions about veganism. The first big idea I have for you is to remain calm and patient. We've all heard the line, "Stop shoving veganism down my throat. You eat what you eat and I'll eat what I want." Or you know the regular defense mechanisms like the circle of life or meat help the brain grow. You know, all those crazy defense mechanisms that people come up with. I know this can trigger someone talking about veganism to lose their control, to go into this high emotional state. This isn't groundbreaking, but here's a tip. Don't lose your cool. Learn the magical art of patience. The second big idea I have is the crazy notion I've been talking about over the past few videos, is to let go of the bias of being vegan when having discussions with non-vegans. To go into this discussion with an open mind. Approach the discussion with humility and kindness. I mean, that's the core of being vegan really, isn't it? Compassion. If you were true to yourself, you would know that you would get more out of being kind than being brutal. It's just the truth. Now, the third big idea I have for you is, I touched on it in my last video, the conversation with the outcome or result of the conversation in mind. A major reason why many people get frustrated and highly emotional is because they start with the intent rather than the outcome. I explained this in my previous video. You so badly want this person to get it, but they don't, and you just go apeshit, right? But where did that get you? Nowhere. So the outcome you want is to have a good conversation about veganism, and you want that person to start thinking about it rather than feel like they're being bullied into something. You know, everyone knows that you don't like being told what to do. So the real key here is to help them think that the idea was theirs. Now the fourth big idea, never approach it from a position of judgment. Remember, most of us were once non-vegans and didn't know, didn't make the connection. We need to remove our own hindsight bias and realize, hey, we were once there, I get that. So how can I move into a place of service and help this person make the connection? Framing the discussion from the position of I rather than you removes the position of attack to a position of teaching. A simple example is, rather than approaching eggs in a manner of, don't you know they grind baby male chicks as byproduct, you say something like, I came to find out that male chicks are considered a byproduct of the egg industry and are grinded alive. I felt sick to my stomach when I found that out. What do you think about that? It goes from blame to triggering thought. So to recap, the first big idea, remain calm and patient. This can take a bit of practice. Number 2, let go of the bias of being vegan. When having discussions with non-vegans, kindness will always be more influential than being blunt. And number 3, enter the conversation with the outcome in mind to have that person thinking about veganism. And number 4, do not enter from a position of judgment. Hindsight bias is a strong bias among vegans. Remember, most of us were there once. Now I hope these ideas will help you when approaching your next conversation about veganism. It is an adjustment process to remove emotion, remove judgment, and be kind to a non-vegan. But as I said, nobody likes being told what to do, and your goal should be to help them come to think about it, that it was their idea, and they may begin a journey of self-discovery. As they say, the truth shall set you free. Speaking Vegan, your practical guide to talking about veganism. Now please, if you've got the time, subscribe below, tell your friends about it, and if you have any other questions about these topics, feel free to ask below. Good luck. on your next conversation when talking about veganism.